Welcome back to Table Rant. Hope you've been having a great one. If you haven't, I hope it'll be greater for you tomorrow. This rant's about the Prime Minister, our Prime Minister in Britain, Keir Starmer. But before we get into it, let's talk about the bombshell, what just happened a couple of days ago. Angela Rayner, the proper ex-deputy Prime Minister, she quit her job, didn't she? She didn't quit her job. She had no choice to quit her job, didn't she? Do you know what I mean? You know, that deputy ex, the one they were grooming as Labour's future to be the perfect Prime Minister, because we all know what's going to happen anyway to poor old Keir, and that's what it's about. But before, like I said, before we get into Keir, let this sink in about the ex-deputy who was made to quit. She even made excuses of using a, I won't say disabled son, bless him, or I'll say a son with disabilities. I mean, don't use your own flesh and blood, especially with disabilities, as an excuse. 1. 2. Remember, this was the woman, yeah, who turned round, yeah, and said, oh, I'm going to scrap the 70.5% discount on social housing and I'm going to drop it to a measly £38,000. And there she is, buying an £800,000 apartment and trying to dodge £40,000 stamp duty. That's £2,000 more than our discount of £38,000. So let that sink in. Just let that sink in, especially you Labour lovers out there. What does that tell you about Labour? What does that tell you about the ex-Deputy Prime Minister? They don't care. They're in it for themselves. She was willing to take £2,000 more than people who are even on less money. So there you go. There's that part. Let's get out of the way with anyway, because that's gone. One more thing though, she shouldn't have her seat. She should be sacked. She should be gone. She should be fired, and that seat should be up for by-election. End of. She shouldn't even have her seat. But hey, what will happen is she'll probably keep the property, rent out social housing, and then part of her salary will pay for the apartment, unless she might just sell up. Oh no, I've done it wrong. But anyway, she's gone. Bad news, proper bad news. Anyway, let's get back to Starmer. Do you think he's gone next year? I do. I think he's personally gone next year. What will happen is he'll end up being a no vote of confidence. The reason I say that is because at the end of the day, all the MPs will do a no vote of confidence, because they'll lose loads and loads of local elections. If it's anything like it's been so far this year with local elections, where Reform wiped the floor with them, a new party out of the blue on the Farage's regime, it will happen again next year, local elections. And we all know the councils are Labour's pockets. It's part of their strength. Once they go, you know, who have they got? The unions. And look at the unions. They're starting to go in that new Jeremy Corbyn's party. And then a load of these local elections could even go to Jeremy Corbyn because of the Arabic communities. I'm not going to get religious, Muslim or whatever. Yeah, I say Arabs because they speak Arabic. That's their language. It's like us. We speak English. We used to be Roman Catholic, didn't we? Well, I'm still Roman Catholic, but a lot of us switched to Protestant, but we still speak the same language, don't we? English. So I'm not going down religious route. I'm just saying Arabs. A lot of the Arabic communities will probably go Jeremy Corbyn's way. Do you know what I mean? Because he's there, he's more there for them than I'd say what Labour actually are. So, you know, it's not looking good for Labour. Keir Starmer, on the other hand, he won't want to go once he gets decimated next year in the local elections. Yeah, he can't swindle it, but he'll try and cling on to his job, but they'll do a no vote of confidence against him. Because the reason I say it is because I think, if I'm not wrong on it, a lot of the councillors, Labour councillors, a lot of them actually become like Labour MPs, don't they? So it's a real bad thing in their mind, thinking, oh, we've just lost our area, they used to be ours, and now they've gone to Reform. So I think personally he's gone next year. It would have gone to Rayner, but, you know, Labour are doomed. Could you imagine it? Say if Angela Rayner was the Prime Minister, do you really think she'd be sat in a room with Donald Trump? it's not going to happen, is it? The likes of Donald Trump, and maybe sat there in front of Xi Jinping, the Chinese president. Do you really think they'd sit in the same room? It's hilarious, mate, where Labour's going with it. Anyway, so yeah, I think personally he's gone. And also, I think personally they're not doing themselves any favours with this digital ID scheme. Why do we need it? We've got passports. You know, you have to update your passport every 10 years. Yeah. And now they're saying, oh, you need a digital ID card if you need to go to work and that. Wrong. That's a lie. Because I've gone to places with my passport, they've scanned it on their mobile phone and they've sent it off to a company, and then the company goes and contacts HM Revenue to find out if you are the person who you say you are. So it's another scam. It's basically another way of saying it's not our country anymore. It's anybody's country as long as you've got an ID digital card. Don't get me wrong. If they turn around and said, "Oh, you don't need a passport anymore. Your travel documents will be implemented inside this ID card," then yeah, fair enough. I'll take it, and then just update your photograph every 10 years or so. Yeah, but if they turn around and say, "Oh no, you need a passport as well," well, you can shove it where it doesn't shine. No chance. Don't need it. There's no need for any of us to have it if we've still got to pay for a British passport. End of. And that won't go down too well either. People aren't going to want it. People won't want it forced down on the end of the day. It'd be like what I'm saying, what I'm thinking. Yeah, they won't want the passport. I mean, not the passport. They won't want the ID card if they still have to keep continuing to pay for a passport. This is a proper rant, mate. I tell you, I ain't happy. I don't know what else to talk about, but that's what my predictions are with Starmer next year. He's gone. He won't want to, but there'll be a no vote of confidence in him. He's gone. Local elections, he's done. You know, they put him off deliberately. Their excuse was, oh, because we were merging councils together, which I feel sorry for the frontline workers, because it's just another kick in the teeth for the frontline workers, because they'll be made to go and travel, you know, further places. Like Binman will probably get made to go from one city to another city, you know, just to save money, while the high-end executive councillors get all the money. Do you know what I mean? But on that side of it, the reason why they use that excuse, they're merging together, it was just to pull it off because they knew what was coming, and it happened. I mean, look at the results. Reform did it. It's insane. A party, well, what's it? Full MPs? Is it full MPs now in power? Not in power, in Parliament. And look at the local councils. Whoosh, gone. You're going to get a lot more Tories going over to Reform as well. I think what's her name? Suella Brenner. I can't pronounce her name. Suella. She's the Fareham MP. She'll be gone over there next because Doris Nadine's gone over there. Bojo won't go over there. He'll try and save the Tories. Jacob Rees-Mogg, he doesn't want to leave the Tories. He wants them both to emerge together. But Farage has made it clear he's not interested. It's his party or nothing. And this is it for Farage. If he doesn't win the general election, which he's claiming 2027, he's gone. It's over for him. You know, they need to get someone else in. You know, I think personally, Lee Anderson's probably the man for the job. Don't quote me because he's going on benefits and all that. But personally, if he's the guy who's ripping up a TV licence in front of people saying, that's it, do you know what I mean? We'll get rid of the TV licence, and fair enough. But I'll go back to Labour. I think personally, what's his name? The mayor of London, Sadiqkhan, he might step in and step up next year if he's not the mayor, to become the Prime Minister or Deputy Prime Minister of what's going on, because they're not just looking at Reform now, they're having to look at Jeremy Corbyn now. And I think a lot of MPs from Labour are going to jump to Jeremy Corbyn thinking they're safe to stay in a job. You might even get Labour MPs going over to Reform, because this is what they do, these MPs, just to stay in a job. Is they'll switch parties if they can to stay in work, to stay in a job. Seriously. I tell you what, the next couple of years, it's going to be one hell of a nasty parliament. Tell you, with the parties, the campaigns, it's going to be ruthless, especially next year of those local elections. Whew, I tell you what, it's going to get very exciting next year in those local elections. Anyway, I've got a couple of more comments. about the TV licensee in and Chili John Carney. He's their poster boy, bless him. I'm not going to rant him out yet, guys or girls. I think I want to get a few more, and I might do a rant out midweek. But at the moment, this is it. I'm not saying anything else. I can't be bothered. And if my words are mumbled and mumbled, if I don't sound that well behind this mask, tough, the mask ain't coming off. I'm not showing my mug face around, you know what I mean? Especially when I'm telling people not to open the door to the BBC, do you know what I mean? If you open the door to the BBC, then that's your problem, you know? If you're going down the road of getting a court case chucked at you. At the end of the day, Chili John Carney's advice is crap. I've got a load of videos out there. I've put another little video out there to warn people about him, but my face ain't in it. My logos ain't in it. It's just all dedicated to him. It's like a masterpiece just for that Chili John Carney. However, I keep ranting on. I'm going to rant out now. I'll see you in the next one. The next one now is going to be about rats. I hate rats. Mate, I had a proper problem with rats, but I've got a proper good and story to go with it anyway. Rant on!